Sorry folks, I just realised I was not recording. I apologise. A big chunk of, I'm not sure how long I've not been recording. I apologise so much because you guys have missed something. Now there are our videos on YouTube. I suggest you go see what you missed from me there. And I'm sorry about that because I didn't see it pop up. Oh. Basically, this is chapter 2. A woman called Betty's been murdered. I have gone and we found her belongings. We talked to her sister. We discovered that they love music. She was having problems with her throat. That's basically all you've missed though. Nothing interesting really happened other than me getting stuck at a puzzle, which I think was when it might have ended because I took forever to try and figure out and how to get help by using clues.
Did you visit Betty yesterday afternoon?
No, I haven't seen Betty for 2 days. I was at the office yesterday afternoon.
Can you prove that?
Of course. But why this question? Betty died yesterday evening, didn't she?
Yesterday, a guest came to the Ginger Cat alone and ordered a white horsed whiskey, and by the look of it, you also appear to be fond of this brand.
Yes, it's a good whiskey and not cheap. I only drink it on special occasions. Or tragic ones.
I understand. Do you know what Betty's plans were yesterday evening?
She said she was having dinner with her sister.
Yet, Megan only returned to Bexhill this morning, Mr. Fraser.
I didn't know.
Right. May I ask you what you were doing yesterday evening?
I spent the evening working.
Your colleagues can confirm this?
No, I often take work home with me.
Right.
Therefore, you have no alibi, Mr. Fraser?
That's right. But that doesn't make me a murderer, Mr. Poirot. I would like you to leave now, please.
Ah, I knew I'd find you here, Poirot. I thought the victim's young man was here.
Yes, is all yours, Chief Inspector. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
I feel so bad for having the recording stop without realising it. But I told you guys what you missed, so hopefully you can forgive me for not realising it. Okay, cool.
Fraser doesn't have an alibi and he's extremely jealous.
You are very skilled at summing up.
And yet you haven't asked Japp to arrest him.
It is too soon. But I agree, without the letters announcing the crimes, Fraser would already be behind bars. Bon, I think we have enough elements. Let's reconstruct the events at the scene of the crime.
I can't imagine how the murderer wasn't seen, though. Surely she must have struggled.
Let us try and imagine the scene.
I don't know how this one was done, so it'll be probably not perfect. So forgive me. Reconstruction time.
The killer and the victim are walking on the beach. Miss Betty has a bag, a belt around her waist, and carries her shoes in her hand. Both of them walk slowly to hut number 5.
Change.
Miss Betty enters the hut.
No, no, no. It wasn't hut number 5. Let us think again, mon cher.
No, it was 6. It was
The
6.
killer
It
and the
was
victim
6.
are walking on the beach.
I said it's
Miss Betty
Vance. I
has a bag,
supposed to meant it's
belt
Vance
around
and
her waist,
her.
and carries her shoes in her hand.
Oh,
Both of
okay.
them walk slowly to hut number 5.
Advance, that was number 6.
Both of them walk slowly to hut number 6. Miss Betty enters the hut. She leaves without her belongings. Then she hides a coat.
The killer tries to remove his victim's belt. She panics and tries to stop him. She runs away, pursued by her assailant.
No, there is no sign of a chase. Things must have happened differently. Let us think again, mon cher. The killer and the victim are walking on the beach. Miss Betty has a bag, a belt around her waist, and carries her shoes in her hand.
Yes, yes. We
Both
know
of
that
them
bit.
walk slowly to hut number 5.
Nope, number 6.
Both of them walk slowly to hut number 6.
She changes here.
Miss Betty enters the hut. She leaves without her belongings. Then she hides a coat.
Nope, we
They
advance.
keep walking. Then she removes her belt.
The murderer moves behind her and then attacks her by surprise. The body falls, lifeless, on the sand.
Everything appears to match the crime scene, mon cher Hastings. That is exactly what happened.
Got right in the end.
Without the ABC, we might have suspected Mr. Asher and Mr. Fraser. But by signing his crimes, the murderer is making sure he's accused. In a way, it is very generous of him.
Generous? The murderer seduced Betty in order to lure her to the beach and kill her.
Indeed, the young woman was certainly careless, but not stupid enough to follow a stranger.
What are you planning to do, Poirot?
Return to London, mon cher Hastings.
Now I should point out this is back in the 20th century before CCTV cameras. So there's no cameras that can tell the height and the weight and all that.
Jap has decided to reveal details to the press. The alphabet murder is now famous.
It is not a bad idea. The more people who know, the greater our chances of finding out something of interest.
Poirot, I have a bad feeling. Poor Mr. Poirot, not so good at these little criminal matters as you thought yourself, are you? Rather past your prime, perhaps. Let us see if you can do any better this time. This time, it's an easy one. Churston on the 30th. Do try and do something about it. It's a bit dull having it all my own way, you know. Good hunting. Ever yours, ABC. Good hunting. Did you hear that, Poirot? The murderer seems to be taking it all as a game, a challenge. He will strike on 30th in Churston. We must warn Scotland Yard.
Hastings, today is the 30th.
No time to lose. We must prepare our suitcases for Churston.
Mon Dieu, it is already 10 o'clock. I will call Scotland Yard immediately.
He knows we're getting closer, so he just went ahead and did that. That is the fan.
Ah, some cool air. Hello, Jap. We received a new letter from ABC in the 10 o'clock post.
Where and when?
In Churston. Today.
Today? I'll inform the population immediately.
I'll check the train times. Call me back.
Not as many people drove back then. Or could afford cars, let alone be able to drive them.
Hastings, what you are doing is an absolute disaster. That is no way to pack suitcases.
Heavens, we must hurry. We have to get to Churston before the murder.
Hastings' order and method are always necessary, regardless of the circumstances.
Okay, okay. I'll let you pack them.
No, you get back,
All the same, it really is a disgrace to leave your belongings in such a mess.
That sucks.
Voila. It only took a minute.
Poirot, you were right. I've just consulted the ABC guide. There's no hurry. The next train doesn't leave till 11:45.
You see, there is no need to hurry. We will not be in Churston until tomorrow morning. After the murder.
But why has the murderer warned us so late? It's not what he usually does. Did he do it on purpose?
Very good question, Hastings. We should also compare the letter we have just received with the other two. Although I have very little doubt about what we will find. Daily Flicker, July 30, 1935. ABC affair, no progress. The alphabet murderer is still on the run. Ever since the police found the connection between the Bexhill and Andover affairs, the inquiry has barely progressed. In this issue, we are publishing provocative letters sent by the killer to Hercule Poirot. Unfortunately,
Sorry folks, I had to take a call there.